What is going on, everybody? Today we are joined by Derick Snow. I brought in my anime expert, Max, to join me for this interview. But Derick, how's your day going?
It's going pretty good. The end of Fire Force just hit while we're recording on this, not too long ago, and I'm just still riding that beautiful high. I love anime. It's been 7 years, and I'm stoked to talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like, what is it? You're working on a lot of the pun intended hottest anime out right now. Yeah, Fire Force coming to an end, but a really good run. I've yet to. I was waiting on the full thing to be out before I sat down and just binged the whole thing. But so like, how did you get started, and how has this been going for you? Like the,
Oh
the
my,
explosion, pun intended again.
yeah, yeah.
How is
Well,
that going for
God.
you?
Oh, it's been great. Like I said, it's been about 7 years now. Just about 7 years from the time I auditioned for it to booking it to the craziness of getting all that together. I think Fire Force. I had been like second leads on shows, but I think Fire Force was my very first lead that I ever got. I've been in lots of other shows since, and it was just a fascinating experience. I had gotten to work with the directors and producers on some other shows before I did that, so it's not like it was I just came out of nowhere for it. Since I started working, let's see, so I think Fire Force started airing, I think in 2019, like May, June, something like that, of 2019. I started working in anime. I want to say 2014, but I had been acting for years before that. Mostly on camera. I thought I was one of those on camera actors because I was youthful and stuff. Now I'm less youthful. I'm more sleepy looking, but voiceover's been really good to me. I've been grateful to be in about ish 250 different anime at this point.
Yeah.
There's always something around the corner. It's crazy, you know. You think about the end of Fire Force, and then there's all this new stuff and stuff. The ball never stops rolling. I'm working on, what is it? That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Another season of that. They've got what, 60 episodes for the next season. That's crazy.
Oh
But I'm
wow,
just so
that's
happy to be a part of all the craziness.
yeah, that's you're going after One Piece with a 60 episode season.
Yeah, gosh, I'm like six characters in One Piece. Life has been good. Like
um,
Nefumi, Big News Morgans.
mm.
There's another guy that I've started doing some temporary takeover for some character stuff, and like a million snail phones.
But so you're an anime fan then? Like I was gonna like I was wondering like, I mean, hey, is it like, the work is the work, and whoever calls I'm gonna answer, or like, are you fully into anime?
Well, as an actor, I dive into whatever project or whatever genre that I feel deserves to have the research and the full deep dive. When I first started working in anime, I think like my favorite anime movie was probably something like Princess Mononoke. One of those that kind of inspired me to realize that when I saw the dub of that, it blew my mind. Years ago, I think I was in, I don't know, when did that come out? Like late
Oh,
90s. I was in high school,
yeah,
and
yeah. That was,
I remember seeing it in the
that's an
theaters, and
oldie
I was
but a
like,
goodie
"Is
now.
that Billy Bob Thornton? Oh my gosh, it is!" Because I always have that ear. I'm sure all the wonderful. I'm one of those nerds that picks up and listens to people. I think that's him. I think that's him. As I'm listening, I can't help it. But like, you know, hearing established wonderful actors like that working on really interesting visual. I'd never seen anything like that. I hadn't really done a deep dive into what anime and manga really even was. At the time I was probably calling it manga and you know stuff like that. But hey, we all start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
When I first started, I was calling it Japanimation. So it's
Japanimation.
we've come a long
Yeah,
way.
yeah. As we develop language that we just this new stuff, or at least it was new, 20, 30 years ago. Yeah, we try to figure out how to wrap our little American brains around stuff.
So, Derek, when you're doing a dubbing job, do you
Hmm.
get to hear the original voices, or do you get to bring your own take on it?
It varies pretty wildly. Like there are some shows where if I get advance notice, sometimes the show will have been established for a long time. I've worked on shows as old as Ultraman 66. So like I'd watched that one a million years ago. I'm a couple of weird little characters in that series, but like being able to preview it and kind of see what the actor did, or on other shows like say Fire Force, we were doing day and date even on season 1. So while I knew who the voice actor for Shinra in Japan was, uh, there was very little in terms of what I could be prepared for. And as an actor, it's not like I was saying I'm going to be Shinra, right? It was the directors and other people that took an interest in me, and that whenever I was asked to audition. So like with shows like that, not a lot of preparation is involved. You just kind of Fire Force is a little different. I've done such a dive into Fire Force. Once I found out about the show, just the audition, I tried to read up a little bit in the manga, and that was about all the research that I could do. So when I came in for my audition for that, I came in for Shinra and for Arthur. I think I read for initially.
Oh.
And but the director, I had already worked with him, a cool dude named Kyle Phillips. I had worked with him on, let's see, a couple of shows. Kino's Journey, that was kind of an older anime, like 8 years ago now, something like 9 years ago, where I voiced a motorcycle named Hermes. And it was kind of, I would say, like closer to my natural voice. But then I also worked on a really fun series, Fairy Tale, with him, where I voiced a kind of the big bad of the week character named, a series of characters all named Wall, where one was like a robot and then a puppet and then the real crazy version. And one of those versions had a very, gruff, this kind of, the little anime spiky teeth.
You can tell they're gruff by their spiky teeth.
Yeah. So when I went into the audition for Shinra, he was like, that one character, but can we make him like, I don't know, like 15 and not so murdery, like heroic? I was like, all right, I'll do my best. Let's see.
There's a lot of duality to Shinra, like as far as just like the way he's drawn versus his like motivations and goals versus like even his power set and how it gets used. They're all kind of in conflict with each other. So I think that's a really interesting character too. There's like, hey, like he's got the spiky teeth, but he's not really murdery. Like
the spiky teeth are really a result of desperate need for therapy. Because of all of his loss as a kid, he developed that crazy trauma. Smile because of his. Have you ever? When I was a kid, I'm not trying to impress anybody, but when I was in like middle school, I lived in not a great neighborhood, and I had a gun drawn on me, but I laughed. Isn't that weird how psychology works sometimes? Yeah. Like our brains do the weirdest things. And so like it didn't surprise me whenever I found out that he smiles whenever, the tension happens. I was like, yeah, I can get that. Like when weird dramatic stuff happened to me in my youth, I weirdly laughed. So yeah, it's fascinating. And so that people see him as the devil or, a bad guy because of that killer smile. But really, he's got a lot of just love, interestingly,
Yeah, and he's
really cool by that.
A true hero, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I really enjoyed the character. It's Fire Force is one I kind of got sucked in, and I was watching oh god, there's another one, Blue Demon or something, where like the stories are very similar, and I had to stop watching that one because I'm like, Fire Force is doing it better. I just I'm just more here for this. But it's also interesting to me that you tried out for Shinra and Arthur. I was like, okay, like they, they're the ever rivals. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating what we are in charge of or not in charge of as actors, like the audition process. There's another awesome series that I'm a part of called Chainsaw Man, and the movie.
Okay. Yes. I wanted to talk to you about this
film. Oh my gosh, but like that audition was kind of strange because whenever I feel like every actor on Earth got an audition for Chainsaw Man. Like if you were part of the thing, because they cast their reel out really wide when they found Ryan Colt Levy. He's super cool. He's awesome. Super great. He's perfect. But I remember when I got the audition, I was like, okay. I did a little bit of research, just to, I audition all the time. We audition constantly. For every 10 auditions, you book one, and it's a numbers game. So if I'm trying to work like 4 or 5 times a week, just imagine how many things I'm auditioning for, okay? So I got that, and I did my audition, and then I got a call back. And then I was like, okay. Somebody thinks that something. I don't know what they're thinking. But it was a call back from home. It wasn't in the studio. So I dove in. I read the manga of the first, as far in as I could for the Chainsaw Man. And I was like, oh, this is really good. Oh, this is messed up. That's really good.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I think I can get this guy. But as I read in further, I got to Beam, and it's like, oh my gosh, what a cutie. Oh my gosh, he's such a cool character. This is the coolest. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I auditioned. Then I had a third callback, and that's a problem for an actor because you start to want stuff, and then but every time I audition, you send it off and you forget about it. I think I auditioned for the initial callback was for Denji and Aki, but I can go a little lower, but I love how Reagan Murdoch's so good. Anyway, but when I didn't hear after the third one, and then I saw that Ryan was cast. I was like, okay, cool, great, that's fantastic, and then. Not too long afterwards, Ryan texted me because we had worked on some other shows together. It's a bunch of little circles here in anime land, and he lives in Los Angeles, and but he's like, dude, I get to ride on your back. I was like, what are you talking about, Ryan? You're crazy. And then like 30 minutes later, I got notified that I was cast.
And you're like, oh, I thought he wanted a piggyback ride. I didn't understand.
Yes, and. Yeah.
No, that's super cool. And Beam is just a super fun character. Like, do you just like, personally, do you prefer kind of like or do you relate to, I should say, or like more of a zany kind of like guy like that, or like you're saying like you smile at danger?
Yeah,
that's right. You
high energy, crazy, zesty character seems to be something I tend to be thought for. I've voiced a lot of zesty, sassy wackies. I can be kind of a happy little gremlin like that sometimes too. So yeah, he's great. Oh my gosh, I can relate. He's such a he comes in clutch because of how much he loves. I like to say he's got the heart of a golden retriever and the brain of a golden retriever.
Yes. That is perfect. That is 100% we have for that character.
Yeah.
But the Chainsaw Man movie came out and it did pretty well. So you're a movie star now. Like, how's that like? Like, how's that going for you?
Well, it was kind of a whirlwind because well, when I first did the show, I knew everything about it because by the time I got cast as Beam, I was still keeping up with Chainsaw Man because I was watching. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm so excited. And then in the first season, he's in it for, I don't know, like a minute and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Episode 11, he just starts coming in, chomping on zombies, and that's it's only a little bit. So I had 3 years I knew. From the first season to the movie was about 3 years, and so I was over prepared to work on the Chainsaw Man, the Reze portion, however you guys want to say that.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, yeah. So when I came in for the recording sessions, oh my gosh, I was locked in already. I knew exactly. There is an amazing director. So the director of the first season is Mike McFarland, and he's super awesome. And he helped set that baseline. We literally had a 15-minute talk before we even started. And then, yeah, there was like 1.5 minutes, but we had this whole series of stuff planned out for the whole, his arc and stuff that we were kind of talking about. And then 3 years goes by, and then the amazing actress and director Caitlin Glass started working on the movie, and Sean Gann also did some directing on that movie, and oh my gosh, I was just pitching all this stuff, and Caitlin was so up because she's an actor's actor kind of person. She will, if she sees a really good take on something, she'll let me run with it. And so I was having so much fun in the booth, just screaming and being very silly, but also trying to find, like, weaving, because he's a fairly goofy little character, but you got to weave into those serious moments, right? So how do you believe it if he's always goofy, right? So we were constantly trying to weave it. But I had 3 years. I was already there. My mindset was so prepped up for this thing. And so then I think I worked on that for many sessions, because there was lots of delightful, bloody, curdling screams in that wonderful movie. I don't know if you've seen it. The sound design in Chainsaw Man. And,
it's so good. Like, yeah.
The movie, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, because I went to different premieres on East and West Coast.
All right.
Like I was saying, like a whirlwind going from I got to meet the creative team behind the movie and the series from MAPPA in New York at New York Comic Con for that big one, and I was like just being able to chat with them was crazy and so surreal. And then going to Los Angeles for a different, another crazy premiere with just all of my actor friends and stuff that were not only in that, but in some of the other favorite stuff that I've worked with on them. I occasionally go out there for some work. I live in North Texas, so I bounce around a lot. And then I must have seen it 6 times during that thing, and it was good every single time.
Oh yeah, and it'll be good the 7th time too. When I had big expectations, because I don't read a lot of manga, but I have read some Chainsaw Man. Mm-hmm. So when the show came out, I was like, all right, dope, like, here we go. And
they're so far ahead.
It's
years to tell that story, so I can't spoil anything.
It's the movie is so good, and I as an anime fan, like, I'm really getting more and more excited that they're doing these movies, and I think it's really interesting too. It's kind of a changing of the norm for anime.
That thing killed on its budget, because they put in about like a little, from what I read and from what I've been told, like maybe 4 million and change on production side, and it made like almost like 190, like almost $200 million. That's pretty good. That is going to teach people lessons on how to treat anime films, I think. If you do it properly and do it right. It took them forever, but then it paid off. It's so good.
Absolutely. And when we say Chainsaw Man versus Jujutsu Kaisen, they also released a movie around the same time, and it was not good. And like, it was, to me, a display of how not to do things. So it's up and down, but like, I'm just happy that we're even able to talk about, like, it's like, oh yeah, let's go to the movies, let's watch this style.
When I talked with the production staff, and I don't want to put words in their mouth, but they wanted to tell just a story without it feeling like, because I don't want to, I never, every creative project is unique and amazing, and and it deserves all the kudos and accolades. But like, the fascinating thing about the Chainsaw Man film was that it didn't feel like a couple of different episodes crammed into one, which kind of sometimes is what because I think the manga format is based kind of like a weekly thing, but the author of Chainsaw Man, he's such an interesting dude. His other projects are so fascinating, but just the way the production side made it feel anything but anime episodes. It felt like a beautiful, perfect little cohesive story, all with the sound design and the pacing. It didn't feel like, all right, this is where it cuts in the manga or something, right? Like, it's just it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, it's a love story. It's a love triangle. It's a coming of age, or growing as a person. And then also there's a shark demon.
Yeah.
But no, like it is such a beautifully packaged, and it's got everything that you'd want for a movie experience, even though like, you could cut this up into anime episodes. But no, I was so happy with how well done it was, and I know you had to be proud just of of your part and how everyone came together.
Yeah, it was amazing. I like I said, I've gotten to work on a lot of great projects, but it's always so nice when you get to see uh, how people react to the things you work on in such a positive way. It's so beautiful seeing how people really really loved that one. I'm happy.
All right, I just came up with this question off the top of my head. So like, if you could be a blank demon, and it can't be Shark Demon because you already do that. Which demon would you make a pact with, or which?
Oh, in like in the Chainsaw Man universe?
Yeah, like you can't be like a Chainsaw Demon or what? Like what demon would you make a pact with?
You know, I tend to have a lot of demons. Because or devils.
Devils.
Yeah, Shark Fiend, Shark Devil. Shinra's he's not a devil, even though he kind of. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there may be something a little devilish appearance happening with Shinra in these last few episodes. He looks great. I don't care what anybody says. He looks fantastic. So sexy. So not a fire demon because that's too obvious. Because, but maybe like, oh gosh, what was my favorite thing? Oh God, the typhoon devil in Chainsaw Man. It's so ridiculous, like an angry baby.
Yeah, just a screaming angry baby.
Yeah. That's me. I'll be an angry swirly baby.
So, Derick, some of the titles for anime are wild. What's the wildest title you've ever been pitched? Do you remember?
Oh boy, I feel like I always like. Well, it's not that they're bad names. It's just they're very. I've done some anime with some very long names. I mean, besides that time I got reincarnated as a slime, you feel like that's a long one. That's not even close in 2026.
Yeah,
I'd have to Google myself. You'll have to Google my stuff. What was it? Oh, because I tend to call things by like, yeah, this one name, and I kind of take the chunk off of the anime name, and that's how I place it in my head. But
which they should have done.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a quirk of some of those relationships, slice of life, weird isekais that are just like, I not only woke up in some other world, I'm also a turtle who flies.
The brilliant healer's new life in the shadows, scooped up by an S-rank adventure.
Beautiful.
Dealing with Mikadono's sisters is a breeze.
Yeah, beautiful, right? So yeah, that's what I was like. Mikadono. Oh yeah, it's a breeze. Okay, yeah. I don't know. My search terms, I max out at like 70 characters in my head, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like they need to have when they need to have a Twitter mentality for naming these things, because it's like it's like the whole plot half the time is just the name of the show.
I think it's always fun because I sometimes do my character announcements on the Twitter, the Schwitter, the X, whatever, and I love trying to put it into a hashtag because I'm like, all right, well, that's all the characters. Hey, congrats! I'm takes breath. Hashtag. Is that a word? I don't know. You figure it out, internet. But if I don't, it doesn't show up on the wiki. So I gotta let the amazing people with the the nerd powers put me out there. So if I don't, so I have to do that. But hashtagging is impossible on those.
Oh yeah, it's wild. I'm just like, I don't understand. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know. Like maybe in Japanese it doesn't read out like the whole deal. But
occasionally you get Chainsaw Man or Fire Force, or I guess the shortest one is maybe like Zenshu. But that may even have a longer name.
I think you are picking my brain here, because like everyone I want to talk to you about, you're just like segueing perfectly into Zenshu. I had a blast.
Yeah, another beautiful.
How was that project for you?
Well, another beautiful map of property. That was with Emily Fajardo. She directed me on that one, and she also directs currently on amazing shows like One Piece. Right now, she's the primary director on that show, and she's so fun. She loves getting interesting, strange performances out of me, and I voice if you don't know, if you've never seen the show, a character named QJ. He's like this. In my mind, he looks like a flying cookie, but he's a robot.
Yeah, I can see like a
I want to say
gingerbread kind
like
of
Mesoamerican vibes, I think, you know, kind of inspired by.
It's like
But to me, he's
a
kind of a flying
robot.
cookie, and so I gave him this kind of almost not quite like an like a robot from the Star Wars universe, let's say, but like less, you know, just Derrickified in Derrick style. So yeah, what a great show. That one was interesting. It's not quite an isekai. You kind of wake up in another world, but is she waking up or is something else going on? It does a twist kind of in the middle of the series, and it gets really dramatic, but it's really cool, like amazing. It feels like, oh, I don't even know what this show is for like the first 8 minutes. You're like, okay, it's, you know, what the backstory, if you haven't seen the show, is it was kind of created by one of the female writer directors at MAPPA, talking about burnout in the working in the world of animation. And MAPPA was like, you know, historically has quite a little, you know, backstory with all that stuff. So it was a fascinating kind of look, not only into that, but then near the end of like even the first episode, when she breaks out her magic pencil and just the world explodes in beautiful animation, and it's just wild. I would call that an underrated, underappreciated show because it's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, the anime, and it's fun too because like since she's an artist, there's a lot of different like styles of animation in there, and they get to do a lot of fun things.
Yeah, and you've got some tropes in that, you know, that are kind of put into it, but then they change really drastically once she gets inserted into that universe. She's, you know, this outsider from the real world. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, super dope. Oh yeah, I think of it as the Wizard of Oz of anime, and it holds like I was happily just like, oh my goodness, this is way better than I thought it was going to be, and so yeah, QJ. I also
Yeah, you
just
don't
love
often
that,
cry at a flying cookie, but then boom, there you
you
are.
know, like,
What is
and then
happening?
it is amazing what you know, yeah, again, where you feel you're gonna develop an emotional connection to. It's like, hey man,
Yeah,
that flying cookie really.
they have excellent high standards for storytelling, and MAPPA has always been, they never, even on like their underrated shows, they never pull back on their really interesting, complex storytelling while still making it fun.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's dope. Zenshi was a lot of fun to watch. I hope it was just as much fun to be a part
So
of.
much fun, so much fun. Yeah, I get to work with Emily a lot because, you know, like I said, I voiced like 3 or 4 characters on One Piece, and heck, I was just in the booth with her yesterday, and yeah, we talk about shows like Zenshu, and she's working on some really cool projects right now. But yeah, great show, great show. More, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Zenshu, the title for that one, even though it's blissfully short. So, but I was like, yeah, Burnout and Bad Sushi could be the title for that one.
Did she choke on sushi? This is like, is she dead?
Yeah, like that. You don't know exactly
Yeah.
what. But no, it's really good. So yeah, check out Zenshu if you haven't seen it. But so do you like? I mean, most of your work is probably going to be, you know, by yourself. Like, have you ever got to work like, you know, casts in one place, like, and do you prefer that, or?
Well, so the world of anime dubbing, you know, it can be kind of a lonely place. I do a lot of other kinds of voice acting. I think the closest in anime is what they call walla, like those background sessions, for like, you know, when you're listening to crowds and people are just talking, or there's smaller little characters. Sometimes they'll cram like 3 or 4 of us in a space because it, like, the individual lines aren't quite as important. So that's really fun. You're improvising and eyeballing other people in the room. You know, you're having these conversations that are just interesting enough to be heard, but not so interesting that they steal focus.
Got to thread that needle.
Yeah. So like, I think that's as close as I get in anime for that. I've worked on like video games and looping and dubbing in movies, and sometimes when you're working on those, you are all in the space, depending on how it works, because they'll want to make it sound like you're out in the field or whatever. So you'll go into a really big studio space, and they'll just kind of capture you as you're doing it, so they can capture the physicality. It's fascinating. And video games, especially if there's mocap or anything like that, you will be in like a space with other. We're in a weird world where they can attach all this crazy rigging to your head and do all that stuff, but in the normal world, like of say like doing an audio book or a video game, I'm usually just screaming by myself, either in a studio theirs or behind me. It's kind of hard to see this weird blue box right there. That's my booth that I record. It's a TARDIS.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I'm a big dork.
And,
Custom built behind me.
You are amongst friends here with the dorkiness.
So I can scream all I want in there, and then nobody calls the cops.
Do you ever like Ace Ventura, like ah?
Oh, yeah. Well, it can get really sweaty in there too. You feel like you're in that rhino. After like 3 hours, you're like, oh man, I've been anime screaming in here for hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because you can't have the fans on, right? So you just slowly melt.
I never. Yeah, that's true. I never. That's one of those things you wouldn't think about. Like, it's like, yeah, I guess you like the mechanical whirring of a fan would need to be.
It's gotta be completely soundless in there. So yeah, sometimes like between takes, I have a little fan that I can pipe air in or just crack open the door. It's one of those weird, like, never thought about it kind of vibes.
Yeah, I mean, you should too. It's like you could make it a sauna and a sound room, and
they can be.
You can work out those impurities and imperfections.
So my booth, I have like, I do have some air piping through stuff, but there was a magical time during the pandemic when we all were forced to move into basically like walk-in closets for a second when everything closed. I didn't have a studio built yet at home, but we still needed to record season. We were about halfway through with season 2 of Fire Force, for example. And so my walk-in closet at my apartment, I basically like moved in. Fortunately, my wife has just loads of really fluffy dresses and stuff. So it's perfect. She hated it because I was stealing her space. But you close the door, you seal it off because, you can't do anything else. You got to block all the sound. And it's like being in like a suffocation chamber after a while. Yeah. But you live. As long as you know to open the door.
Yeah. So you can make it back to that door. You have like an emergency button, like, oh, I'm gonna crash out before I can get back to the door. Come save me.
Now I know what they felt like on Apollo 13 when the little air purifiers. You're like, oh God.
Well, Derick, what's next for you?
Well, gosh, well, there's stuff I can't talk about. There's always something. There's always NDAs in the future. Let me think.
Tell us your secrets.
Very recently just got announced. Oh, gosh, what is the name? Oh, no, I've forgot. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Here, let me, what's it called? It's a video game that I just did. It just came out like this week. It's like Night Swarm. Yeah, that's what it's called. Night Swarm. It's kind of like a Vampire Survivors. You ever play that?
Yes. I love that game.
It's kind of like that, but it's in 3D, and they recently added a bunch of really cool us fellow voice actors. I think cool dude Aaron
this looks dope.
Is in that, and I play a character. His name is Victor, and he talks like this, and that was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And that was I got to work with. Basically, the director was in the UK, and it's fascinating being able to use the magic technology to work with other people like that. And, there's.
Oh, sorry. I was just checking it out. Yeah, it's got like a Diablo kind of look to it, but more of the Vampire Survivors
like
gameplay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty zesty. I've been jamming out on my Xbox on it. It's got it for at least for PC and Xbox right now. I think they're going to release for more platforms, but we will see. And then like a lot of video game stuff. There's a game called Zenless Zone Zero that I'm in. That I've got a couple of characters. I did a big bad guy. I don't want to spoil anything. That started the process last update, and then this next update, there's some more characters and more fun stuff that I've been working on with that. And I think I talked about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Working on that for the new season already. Let's see, what else can I actually talk about? Like I said, One Piece. There's always fun stuff with that. There's a whole new season of anime that's getting announced right now that they haven't quite gotten through everything. There's always more stuff to come. And then, of course, who knows what the timeline is, but Chainsaw Man, Blue Lock is, I think, coming ahead with season 3. I voice the head coach of the Blue Lock program, Jinpachi Ego. And he's quite the man with the longest neck, the bald headliest of hair, and a cool little bolo tie. And he suffers from MSG poisoning. That's all
Now,
he eats is noodles.
Blue Lock did, I feel like, come under a lot of fire just for the like the quality of animation from season 1 to season 2. I would have to say that, like, again, this is nothing on you as a voice actor, but like, do you like, I don't know, does that affect you in any way? Where, like, I mean, have you heard anything, or like, it's just like, oh well, like, I did my work and I had fun, and I hope they call me back.
I will say that if you watch any of Ego's scenes in season 2, he's beautifully animated every single time. That's my favorite animation of his game. He's great. He looks fantastic. I will say that I don't want to say what happened, but what probably could have happened was what was it? Blue Lock episode Nagi came out, and then 2 months later, the next season happened. So they really filled their plates up. I mean, that movie looked really great. But yeah, I feel like they put a lot of crunch time on that. Well, you'll see what happened because of well, I will say my favorite thing about season 2 is that they stuck the landing. It ends really well. And you can tell starting from the 3rd to the last episode when they're like, put everything into it. Because you start to see Bado, as he turns into a freaking lion, and like the animation starts doing a little zest. And then by the last episode, that full crazy mind-blowing 360 where you can see that, my gosh, they put so much heart into that last sequence. They see how much love that gets compared to. I don't want to call it PNG Lock, but I will say that I feel like at some point they were trolling. It was so funny because there's one character that has like his arm like this, and then later on he shows up again like that, and then another one like that. But by the end, they flipped him so it's the opposite side, still in the same pose. I was like, what's happening? So they were picking and choosing. They landed so well at the end of season 2, and now, as you've seen, they've had a baby break because they've been, I assume, working really hard on making sure it looks really good.
Yeah, I mean,
I have incredible. I'm gonna be really optimistic, and I just know Ego's gonna be so well animated.
No, and that's the thing, so they had high expectations coming off of season 1 because everything in season 1 was so well done. I'm not trying to poo-poo anyone. I was just shocked at. And what you're saying makes sense. Like the timelines, like the crunches these people are under, and when they're like, okay, you know what?
Did you see the Nagi film? Like right at the end, they had 5 extra endings that only appeared in some theaters and not others. So they're animating for people that may not even watch it. So I was like, wow, this is a lot. I was watching all this stuff. I was like, what is this? They've really like crammed a lot of. They've put these animators through a lot. I hope it.
Yeah, I hope everyone's okay.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of the unfortunate nature of anime in modern times. Like, people have really high expectations for it to come out yearly, which is pretty unrealistic if you think about like old school classic animation, 24 frames a second. That's 24 drawings for nothing. You're not even going to see it. You're going to blink.
Right.
And so, and you've got to do how many episodes? Episodes are getting less and less. You've got like Chainsaw Man with like 12 episodes.
Yeah. Yes.
And it looks great, and then what do you want? You want 60 you want endless episodes, One Piece style, which is great. There's the budget's there because people they love it.
Right.
But like you've got something like Blue Lock. I'm just gonna say I have excellent hopes. I haven't seen anything yet. We'll see.
Me too.
Yeah.
And as an older, as I've gotten older, I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, take your time. I'm not the one to. I would rather it be good than be out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem I think with a lot of video games too. Is like they're going to release the game when it's only half done. And they're going to promise a lot and not deliver on that. And I would rather you finish the game.
We're on the
So
precipice of beta everything. Although I will say that even back when I first started, like, over 10, 11 years ago working on an anime, they would finish it and say, oh, we'll clean it up for the Blu-ray. And we did. They would come and it's like, hey, everything looks good now. What happened? This is crazy. They animated all this stuff and now it doesn't match the flaps, and so I get another recording session.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what we call job security.
Yeah, but we don't like. I will say, streaming has made it that I feel like some people buy Blu-rays, but it's really messed up that like the concept of we'll make it clean and pretty after the fact. Like, we only have like 9 weeks or whatever to make an episode. That's crazy. And then we'll do some cleanup before the Blu-ray once we get the funding for that. And that, I don't know if that happens anymore, really.
Yeah, it's less, and Jason is a physical media god. This guy collects VHS tapes. So
nice. Well, we did some I don't know if I can talk about it, but we did do some extra stuff for the Blue Lock season 2 that's coming
okay, so maybe they're trying to throw some
if anybody
more
buys
stuff in the middle
in 2020.
I might be enticed through this conversation to look into that
really special
that Blu-ray.
extra animation starring Ego.
Yeah, if I can get more Ego, I'm in.
Ego's been very good to me. Ego's been very good to me. I cannot tell you how many like people that want to lock in for workouts or kids that are just starting soccer. They latch on to me it's crazy how they want me to either inspire them or knock them down. Lock in or lock off.
Yeah, it's it's how are you motivated? Some people need those encouraging words, and some people need
an interesting one, yeah. Because like I started doing the show, I didn't know how popular it would be, and it seemed pretty fun. And then I did like a TikTok, like a 15-second TikTok during the first like the World Cup, and it was just I was in like the throes of being sick, and I just did like a 15-second thing, and, ha, 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 and it got like 8 million likes or something crazy like that. I was like, what is happening? So Blue Lock, it has its fandom. I feel like it's mostly on TikTok, like Instagram, Twitter. They like it okay. They are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, for Blue Lock Cocoa Puffs on TikTok. It's crazy. And I'm very loud.
All right, Derick, where can everybody find you online?
Well, if you know how to spell my name, well, good luck, because it's Derick, and there's 28 ways to spell that. Derick Snow. But fortunately, you can, like the magic of Google, it fixes me. I'm famous enough where you can misspell it just about any way. Just DerickSnow.com. You can find that stuff. You can find me on TikTok, Derick Snow. Instagram, the Derick Snow, because somebody took it. Twitter, I'm just the Derick Snow. I got on a consistent kick. I'm basically the Derick Snow everywhere, except TikTok, where I'm just Derick Snow.
Where you got in.
And there I am. Yeah. It's my silliest platform, TikTok. I'm at my stupidest, which is the most brain ready version.
That's going to be the best one, I think. I enjoy a bit, and I think in the world today we need a bit of that wacky silliness. So.
Yeah. I'm fully in escapist mode on like the world is pretty interesting and slightly on fire. So I'm here for a little. I'm helping with the escapism.
Derick, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for coming on here and talking with us. We've had a blast, and you are great. I hope to hear your voice in 33 other things, like as I go through my Saturday scroll. No, thank you for coming on and being awesome.
I'm incredibly lucky to be a part of all this stuff, and I'm super happy to be able to talk to awesome people like you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much. Everybody like, comment, share, subscribe. Chat soon.
Recycle your droids.